Capriati versus Club, the cave woman.
Me tennis!
So let's continue our look at the wild, wacky world of Renovation products, makers of such fine games as Manic Pixie Dream Drill, and yet more from our friends at Wolf Team. Let's come back.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Our next game came in November of 1991. This was another Wolf Team game, and it's a little bit different from the other stuff they've done so far. Wolf Team.
God, I love that game creative staff.
Yeah.
Cool! Dinosaur! Yes! Oh, what is that? I love them! They look like a little armadillo. Those look like armadillos! They are armadillos!
They kind of are.
My voice is cracking up.
So this is a game about ball-like dinosaur creatures. Why did they turn into balls? Well, that's because it's a pinball game.
What?
Yeah. Wolf Team made a pinball game. It suffices to say this is not their area of expertise. I don't think they've ever made another pinball game before this. But for whatever reason, Telenet told them to make a pinball game here for Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. And they did it. It's got some great music. I think this is also another Motoi Sakuraba soundtrack, like he did most of the Wolf Team stuff. And yeah, back then, video pinball, for a very brief window of time, was a pretty popular thing, thanks mostly to the PC Engine and stuff like Alien Crush, Devil's Crush, that sort of thing. So I can only assume that Wolf Team and Telenet saw the success of Devil's Crush, and they said, you know what? Can we make that instead of, like, demonic? Can we just put cute dinosaurs in it?
Now, to be fair, these are very cute dinosaurs.
Oh, yes. The character design is probably the strongest part of this game.
Definitely, definitely. These are all friends. Like, every single one of these guys are just like your buddy. I love them all.
They're also cute looking. Even the tiny little sprites over the rollover lanes. They got tiny little teeth.
Oh, they're so cute. Oh.
Now, the unfortunate thing is that this game is actually terrible.
Yeah.
It plays very badly. It is no Devil's Crush, and it just has a whole bunch of weird issues, like the scrolling is smooth, or rather the sprite movement is smooth up until the background scrolls, and when there's any kind of scrolling, the frame rate drops, which is weird. It's really weird. It shouldn't be the case. They should have, like, not done that. Now, it does have good sound effects, good music, nice graphics, pretty much the whole package except for the gameplay. Wolf Team just couldn't make it happen.
Alright, according to Electric Boogaloo, this isn't by Sakuraba, it's by Ichiro Hata.
Oh, wow. He's good at that style, then.
Yeah.
Wolf Team knew how to do music.
Do it.
This game's even got some voice samples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that bottom screen in particular looks a whole lot like Devil's Crush. There's just a whole bunch of different objectives you can do. Eventually, I think it takes you to bonus screens, much like in Devil's Crush and Alien Crush.
I've seen a lot of Kermits, you know. Oh, bless you all.
'Tis the season. Bring in the season with Kermit H.
Gotta ring in something. Video Game King says, I say this is a design management problem where they didn't plan for how many objects would appear at the screen at once.
That could be, yeah. Maybe they just designed the how the game would play before they added all the objects to the playfield, and they just kind of overfed it.
Kermit's all around.
Kermit's for everyone.
All right, Zelos just got a subscription, so they also have a new Kermit H to show everybody.
Welcome also to the Kermit H Club. Everybody welcome. I'll play another ball of this. Yeah, I don't like this. I had Devil's Crush as a kid, or rather, the Genesis version, Dragon's Fury. I played a hell of a lot of Dragon's Fury. This game, I think I remember actually seeing this as well at Toys R Us for $15, and for some reason we didn't end up getting it, even though we loved pinball, me and my dad.
Maybe you made the right decision.
We definitely made the right decision. It's like all the elements are here, it just does not come together into a fun pinball game. Still, credit to Renovation for trying. I guess they were trying to branch out. Maybe they saw they had published too many shooters. You know, try and get some more people. Get some more people in there. Get the pinball fans.
Get the big pinball heads in the scene.
Yeah, the pinball heads. That's what they call them.
Pinball money's good money.
Mm-hmm. There's always money in the pinball machine.
It's true to shake 5 minutes.
I suck at this.
Well, luckily you hit the 5-minute mark, so...
Okay, good. If you want to see someone on Twitch play this, and Kay occasionally does, she also plays Kutenkai and the Devil's Crush series. She's good at video pinball. And I've actually seen her get pretty far in this, believe it or not.
Damn.
Maybe someday she'll do a full playthrough. Until then, we gotta move on. Also in November of 91, holy shit, it's El Viento.
Did they just not stop in 91?
No, they did not. I'm telling you. They just kept on going.
Hey everybody, Dinoland had an arcade. Telenet had an arcade with Dinoland characters on it.
They did. They had their own tokens. They had their own...
My God.
Yeah, there's very, very little that remains of this company, or rather this arcade. But some wondrous time back then, you could go into a Telenet arcade with Dinoland characters. So have you heard of the powerful tornado El Viento?
Actually, yes.
It just started its activities.
Oh no.
Alright, so I'm going to tell you now, we did a full playthrough of the whole damn Ernest Evans trilogy way back when. Back when we were called Adventure Pals.
Back in the day.
It's been a while, but those are all up on YouTube. I managed to finish all 3 of those games, so if you want to see full playthroughs of those, look those up. But suffice to say, this is a Prohibition-era action platformer starring a magical girl who goes up against Al Capone.
Who's trying to,
Who's trying to resurrect Cthulhu.
Yeah.
So, basically, this is the best game.
Yes, it is. It is.
And in the usual Telenet Renovation style, of course they have all these anime graphics. Look at that anime graphic.
That is so anime.
Vincente DeMarco, definitely not Al Capone. Kingpin of the Mafia group.
Vincente DeMarco's my favorite Eurobeat guy.
He's friends with Dave Rogers. Anyway, this goes on. Let's see if I can beat the first level in 5 minutes.
Alright.
So this game, this is probably one of my favorite Renovation games. It's fun to play, it controls really well, and it's very short. You can beat the whole thing in like 20 minutes, especially if you know the dash strats. There's been a few people who ran this at AGDQ over the years, and those are good runs that I recommend. I can also recommend the runs of Ernest Evans, particularly the ones by Mike Uyama. He's really good at that game. I respect that.
Yes, also... the concept of anime versus mobsters is really good to me.
It's perfect! It's peanut butter and chocolate! Why doesn't anyone else explore that?
I'm sorry, Valis, but I wish you were fighting mobsters instead.
Yeah, this honestly feels like Valis perfected, if I'm being real here. I suppose this is kind of Wolf Team's answer to Valis. They're all like, hey, we can do better than our other competing sub-developer did. We can make an anime, a magical girl anime game.
Mike doesn't do El Viento, by the way.
Oh no, El Viento was someone else, but I do remember his Ernest Evans runs.
Yes, yeah, they do work for the Sega.
Also gotta see Ernest soon.
He
went to jail, and then he was scared stupid.
He also went to school.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a magic pair of basketball shoes.
Some cool shit here, look at this. Blah, 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 blah.
That is
huge explosions.
Fly. Oh my gosh.
This is also one of those games where you can just play it casually and have a good time, and yet it's really easy to speedrun. They make it so easy to just dash through every single level, and it's really fun. I tell you, Wolf Team, not all of their stuff is great. Dinoland, remember? But the stuff that was is really memorable and super cool and stylish, and that's why I like them.
This is just fun. I'm sorry, I'm watching this and I'm having a great time.
Mm-hmm. This is the essence of action gaming. This is required gaming. I'm putting it on, it's an assignment. It's on the syllabus.
It's required if you want your bachelor's in gamer.
You don't want to be no associate gamer.
That's me.
Bet you went to gamer community college.
Listen, Just because you went to the University of Texas Gamer Edition, sponsored by cool Mountain Dew Doritos or fucking whatever, doesn't mean...
I bet they do have a gamer fucking education track over at UT
They do have a video game education track there, yes.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
They have some cool stuff there. I know that,
I'm majoring in Dota.
No, they actually have a good game.
I'm giving them shit, but yeah, they actually do have a good.
No, they have a good game dev and game history things there. It's not the University of Phoenix's Epic Gamer School.
Is that a thing?
It should be. It probably is. If it's not,
Is that how Arcus got so good?
I assume. Well,
I couldn't beat the first boss. That's how long it's been since I played this game.
Was that the tank from Granada?
Maybe. It was going around just annihilating all the different weapons, including El Viento herself. El Viento, go play it.
Go play it.
It's been a while, but I'm sure if I derusted, I could show off a full playthrough. I just don't want to. Let's move on.
Let's see, Truffle Luxury says, the Mountain Dew U of T Game Lab sponsored by Gamer Fuel. Thank you. Alright, what's next, baby?
So also in November of 91, this is their third release so far, Master of Monsters.
Ooh.
You like monsters?
Yes.
This game's got them.
Cool. Yeah, Bring it on. Bring it on.
Alright, now you see System Soft and you might think strategy game, because that's pretty much all they did. I'm pretty sure they did either the Daisen Yaku series or something similar. But this is Daisen Yaku for all the furries out there, basically. Alex is
I've turned into Tim fucking Allen, yes.
And yeah, this is hardcore strategy. So much so that when you push start, it just presents you with a list of scenarios, and like, that's it. Let's go with this one, I guess.
Alright.
Fine, we'll start. Yep, it is a hex-based strategy game. And it's a game where you summon all your favorite different monster creatures. You got dragons, you got angels?
Close enough.
Romans?
Romans are my favorite.
Trolls, the Pegasus, the Chimera, lizard men. Look at that lizard sprite.
That lizard man kicks ass.
You can have minotaurs, some serpents, and the famous mermaid.
I love mermaids.
Let's have a mermaid go. And then we'll also summon a serpent. Gotta summon a dragon.
Yes.
Gotta summon a, you know what? Can't go wrong with an angel. Also gonna summon a, oh no, I'm out of summon points.
Well, you can't.
Okay, I guess I gotta end my turn then. Wait, can I move these dudes? I don't think they can move on their first turn.
No.
Oh, but my daimyo can do it. Okay, he can move.
Alright.
No, wait, he should stay on his thing.
Yeah, he should be protected by all the cool monsters.
Yeah.
100 bits from Trough of Luxury for the Lizard Man boyfriend tax, thank you.
Oh, long range attacks. I'm at my castle.
You're being attacked by dirt, Danny.
Yeah.
This dragon's getting its ass kicked by dirt.
I love dirt. Okay, now we can move. Now the thing about the water-based enemies is they can move hella fast on water. They can't do shit on land, but they can sneak up on enemies if you, like, go in through a waterway. Dragons, they're land-based, so they're pretty much locked there. I don't need to explain this. You played Advanced Wars, right?
Yeah,
You get the idea. Oh wait, mermaid should be in water.
Oh.
Always keep your mermaid in water.
Let's see. Electric Boogaloo mentions Music Here's by Hayato Matsuo and Hitoshi Sakimoto. It's pretty good too.
Oh, it's got that Sakimoto soundtrack.
Alright, Daimo.
My daimyo can't move for shit. So let me tell you my experience with this game. I had no experience with this game when it first came out. But as a Sega CD owner, one of my favorite games was a game called Dark Wizard by Sega, actually. It was a first-party strategy game for the Sega CD. It was a game where you controlled a ruler who stayed at a castle, who could summon all kinds of monsters to fight against an enemy who could do the same. And it wasn't until like a couple years ago that I realized that game that I liked so much as a kid was a complete and blatant ripoff of this game. Like, they just took everything from this game and they just put a Sega label on it, and that was it. I finally got to play this eventually, and you know what? I think it's even better than Dark Wizard. I think this is a good-ass game. It's just... It's just you gotta be into it. It's not as approachable as a shooter or a magical girl action game.
Yeah, there's no Cthulhu, no gangsters.
Yeah,
but...
you gotta set your expectations right. But if you're into strategy, I mean, you didn't have many options back then, first of all. But for what it is, this is good, and it's kind of a miracle that they brought it over here to the States, considering how much text.
They're occupying everything. Jesus,
yeah, oh, they got to all the towers before I did. That sucks. Those give you resources. Now this Mudman's hurting on my marmaid again.
Your marmaid is...
My marmaid!
My marmaid!
My marmaid!
Your marmaid is dead!
I was gonna make Marmite out of my marmaid. That's disgusting.
That's awful. Alright, you got 30 seconds to win the game.
Okay, this dragon is gonna take over this castle. Boom.
Love it, love it.
Occupied by dragons.
Yes, good. This is good political action. Good.
Now we're gonna send out the angel to do this castle. Yeah, that's right. I can take over castles too. What do you think of me now?
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, me too. What do you got, enemy?
All right.
Check it out. It's so hardcore. It lists the X and Y coordinates on the side.
God, I love
You have to be a nerd to like this game. Me, I love it. Dude's already summoned like 3 times the creatures, and he's taken over the entire map. It's suffice to say I'm not good at strategy games, but I do enjoy a good monster battler.
Yeah.
And this game delivers.
Alright, that is... Oh, let's watch your angel get murdered by the mud.
Oh, strike him down.
Oh, damn.
Now, I should note, Dark Wizard also had these scenes, but before each one would happen, it would have to load them. And it took a way long time to load each animation. That's what makes this version better. Anyway, moving on. Renovation, they're not just shooters. They also do monster battlers. We move on into December 91. Christmas is coming up, so it's a great time for Exile. Now this game, if you're familiar with the series, this is a heavily edited version of a PC game called XZR. Those are games that pretty much push the boundaries in terms of content in Japan. Like, instead of healing items, they had stuff like heroin and cocaine, peyote and stuff. All different kinds of drugs that would buff you up. You encountered historical figures, including Hitler at one point. It was basically a time-traveling adventure where you just went around doing drugs. And also it was fantasy-themed.
Okay, alright.
This version gets rid of all that. There is nothing interesting left in this game. I have played all the way through this Genesis version of Exile, and there's nothing interesting about it. However, it does exist, and Renovation did release it. Let's play it.
Oh, apparently you killed a US president in the first game.
Yep. Those games are pretty wild. I think HG 101 has a series of articles about those games if you want to read about them.
Hey, just want to say, this game looks mighty familiar.
Little bit. What makes you say that?
Well, I'll have to see how combat goes.
Ain't got no customers to stay in our hotel. Cause them Lucille's.
Damn. I guess Lucille's are... Wait, are we the troops or are the Lucille's the troops?
I don't know.
Alright, we'll figure it out.
It's been a while since I played this. But it does have a unique setting, I'll give it that. The main character of the game is actually Syrian, which is kind of a nice little change. And depending on which version you play, you might get a lot of story, a lot of voice acting, or an insurmountable challenge in the case of the TurboGrafx CD versions. Those were localized by Working Designs, and they cranked up the difficulty.
She's cool.
Yeah, she's neat. Let's buy a bat from the witch.
You can buy hemp.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
You can make clothes out of those.
Cool, I want some CBD.
I'll take all your hemp, please.
Thank you.
Alright, now we gotta meet our buddy Adol at the Darm Tower. I mean, this is a totally different game.
It's not East.
Fucking... The B button is the confirm button. That's messed up. Listen to me, I'm the irate Renovation gamer. Here are my puppets. Oh, this is one of those games where you gotta talk to everyone in the village before they let you out. Oh, no. Well, believe it or not, it's not just this. It eventually turns into a side-scrolling platformer, if you can believe it.
What?
With some really big characters, and you got a sword.
That's...
And instead it's just this. Oh, I already had a sword and shield.
Well, now you've got hemp.
That's all I need.
Congrats.
I am now made of hemp. You want to buy some convulsants? Or some somnificants? Maybe some kako?
Or some snake poison.
These are not drugs, I swear. I'm not selling cocaine. Not in this version. Also, I think this is actually XZR2. I don't think this is the original Exile that they ported over. Husband locked himself at home ever since I asked him to go on an errand. That sounds like me. I'm like, Alex, I don't want to go. I saw a member of the Dune Cavalry. Sounds like a lot of work. That's why I can't go to Big Lots today.
Dune Cavalry, I saw him go by in a car, and I'm just not in the mood.
I don't even want to deal with that today.
Yeah, I'm gonna self-care by playing 20 hours of Exile, probably.
Now, there's a lot of little neat stuff about this game, but it doesn't really add up into an actual good game. There's even stuff like your heartbeat determines how you attack in battle. Like, you notice how the armor class down there keeps pulsing? Like, if you attack at the right time, you get a little bit more powerful attack. Son of a bitch, you're really not gonna let me out of town, are you? I'm putting on a show here.
Nope, sorry, Danny, and you got 20 seconds left.
Well, just imagine a really cool side-scrolling platformer interspersed with this, and that's Exile.
Yeah, chat's mentioned this is actually not based on the first XCR, but the sequel, so...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, go look this up. That was 5 minutes of nothing. Thanks, Exile. Next up...
The irate puppet!
In December of '91, also alongside Exile, arrived the original Valis. That's right, it came after Valis 3. Now, at this point, the original Valis was pretty old. It premiered in the early 80s for PCs. They didn't get much of a chance to port it to consoles. So by the time the PC Engine and Genesis rolled around, it was like, hey, you want to catch up with the series? Let's remake the original Valis. Featuring even slower text scrolling.
This is funny weather.
It is funny.
It was fine until just a minute ago.
Now that I think of it, I did dream about it yesterday. The timer's running, isn't it?
Yes.
I better start the game.
Someone was.
God damn. Valis games not known for their fast-paced storytelling. So here's the funny thing about this game. This was technically developed and released after Valis 3 for Genesis, and it is by far the worst game. It is not nearly as good as Valis 3. Now this starts before you found the Valis sword, so you're just kind of running around Japan in your sailor outfit. That's kind of neat. That's different. It shows you the origins of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's just not nearly as cool. Valis fans debate me. Prove me wrong.
Hey, cool Riot sign. There was a Riot logo in the background.
Alex struggling to find things to talk about here.
I'm working on it. Codeman mentions one reason we may have been scrolling so slow is because they may have forgotten to change the text speed from when it was originally kanji.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Japanese text traditionally tells a whole lot more with fewer characters than English letters do. So for English versions, you typically want to speed up the text.
Very pokey anime.
Yeah, this kind of has a deliberate speed to it, doesn't it? It looks like she's running, but she's not really going anywhere too fast.
Yeah, this does look... God, these monsters look outdated. I'm sorry.
That's like a combination of the game, first of all, just being old, and second of all, this obviously being a second-string project compared to Valis 3. I will say I do like the real-world setting. I like that you go around the cities and eventually go into a subway. That's neat.
Right. Let's see. Yeah, Botman says it's anime OP running speed, and yeah.
It is. She'd enter her code and have a piece of toast in her mouth.
And yeah, we will be playing Syd of Valis later tonight.
Oh, that's coming. That's the third and final Valis game they released for Genesis. And believe it or not, that's an adaptation of Valis 2, so the release order was 3, 1, 2.
That cool. Ragu says this is better than the Famicom version. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's at least that. It's not as bad as the Famicom one.
Uzi's never done a Valis. Do you have any Valis suggestions for a noob to Valis?
Valis 3 isn't a bad place to start, but if you're looking for the best one, play Valis 4. That gets it right. All of it.
Yeah, no, don't listen to Graph Dev, don't play Valis X.
I don't think there's any need to play Valis X.
No, you can, no. Also, I like the Telenet sponsors benches. I support them supporting public transit.
Yeah, they're good for the community.
I wish video game companies would sponsor bus stops in America.
Yeah, tell them to bring back the bus line near us.
Yes, listen, if you
Get
are...
Telenet on the horn.
Telenet, Renovation, Johnny Turbo's Flying Tiger Games, if you want to sponsor the bus stop near us to bring it back, we would really appreciate that.
Alex, I realized I'm in a sewer.
You are in a sewer, that's your favorite! Everybody, Danny's in a sewer!
Just another thing that makes this the inferior Valis game. Oh, lots of slowdown here. More armadillo enemies. Is that a common thing with Telenet?
I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah, we approve of armadillos around here.
Yeah. They're representing Texas.
Yeah. They're all like, oh, some Texans are gonna play this 20 years from now.
Texas are gonna make a bunch of rude jokes about this game. Better put in some armadillos.
And your reward is animation. That's funny weather.
Oh.
Get some sleep, Yuko. You're so
please.
sleepy. I must be having a bad dream.
I'll wake up at God, Danny, it's 5 minutes 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right, let's move on here. Oh, bless her.
I'll wake up at any moment.
Just hold on. Any second now. Oh, Valis will wake up.
Welcome, I'm God.
Welcome to Fantasy World!
AKA Heaven. Wow, Yuko went to heaven. Good ending.
Congrats, Yuko. Yuko never sinned. Alright, what's next?
And then we finished off 1991. Their last release, December 91, East 3. You know what this is. You saw Exile, but this is the real deal. So you know this guy Adol?
Yes, he's good.
He's got red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Got a friend named Dogi who
Yes.
likes breaking stuff.
Yes.
Well, the third one, East 3, it kind of changed things up. Now, if you're familiar with the first two, those were overhead view action RPGs where you bumped into stuff to kill it. Hide-glide style, you know.
Yeah.
Third game, it's a side-scrolling platformer.
Really?
It's in our purview. This is something we have to evaluate. Let's check it out. Now, there's many versions of this game. You can play this on PC Engine CD-ROM, where it has voice acting, but the scrolling's kind of slow. There's this version, which I think is pretty good. And then the one that you shouldn't play is the Super Nintendo one, which was made way harder than the other versions. And it's made by Advanced Communications, the people who made Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, the East 3 cover is very good. Adel is buff and just screaming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's some classic box art right there.
And there's a lovely Fey Dragon with on the side, like, hey.
That's cool.
I like them.
So this was kind of a weird shift for the series back then. They took a formula that everyone loved and wanted more of, and they just threw it out and made something different. And God bless them for it. Falcom wanted to do something a little bit different for the third game. And I guess it didn't work, because they went right back to the old formula for Ys 4. I like this little cinematic introduction, though.
That's cool.
What do you think of my town?
Cool town.
Aren't you Dogi? So there's no action in this game. This is just a game about introducing yourself to people and becoming friends with them.
Okay, so it's Animal Crossing.
Yeah. That's why nobody likes this game. There's no action. I guess the Super Nintendo art's a little bit better.
It's a little bit. The Japan cover, the cover from Japan is really good, actually. So cute. Beetle is so tiny.
Mm-hmm. He can jump. Look at how he can jump.
Oh my god!
He's a little mascot star.
Oh no.
Our little Adol grows up so quickly.
He's so good.
Okay, do I have to talk to everyone here before you let me leave town? Probably. Let's find out.
No.
The mayor's stuck in the mine.
Oh no!
Lassie, go help him. Let's go.
Alright.
Let's go clear out the mine. Wait, do I have a sword? Should probably check it out if I have a sword. No, I don't have a sword.
You have nothing.
Let's go buy a sword. I do have money, so...
Okay. Alright, you've got... It's 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Oh
so.
god, where's the sword shop? Give sword. I do not want any.
You want sword?
Yes.
Damn. I'm gonna like for a sword.
That's some armor. Yeah, okay. Give me a shield. What you got in shields? Thank you. I'm all prepared.
Alright. Okay, you look equipped.
But no, take me over to the swords. I didn't go to the right thing. There we go. Yeah, you gotta highlight them.
Ah, I see.
Okay, now we're gonna kick some ass.
Alright,
we got 50
left.
seconds to kick some ass. No, no.
Go, move.
Everyone shut up. I gotta go beat up something.
I can't help you.
Oh, you got a downstab in this one. From what I remember, I did play through the Super Nintendo one. I rented that back then. I remember it being decently fun up until the final boss, which is almost impossible. The final boss seriously took me hours and hours to beat back when I rented this. And funnily enough, I think Alex had the same experience with this game. Like, I remember you playing this at my mom's house, like, a long time ago.
I got stuck, yeah.
You played all the way through it in one sitting, and you got stuck at the last boss.
Sure did. Yeah, I like this, and I like I think Oath and Felghana is the remake, or?
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to play a modern version of this, which actually switches back to kind of the old mechanics, Oath and Felghana. Actually, I don't think that has bump-based mechanics. It's more traditional.
Yeah, I like these games.
Yeah, they're neat.
Yeah, PC98 Junior got me into it, and I'm like, fun.
Yeah, Ys 3 typically gets the short shrift in terms of opinion, but aside from the ogres that can kill you in one hit, it's pretty good.
Fucking dead.
Maybe check it out. And that's Ys 3 in 5 minutes or more.
Close enough.
I was gonna say less. It was almost a good showcase of that game. But we did it. We made it through 1991.
Oh my god.
That was seriously a dozen games. Half the games they released over the period of their entire lifespan were released in 1991.
Oh, no.
It's time to move on. 1992 started off in January, as it often does, with Ernest Evans.
Oh, cool. More Ernest. We are never getting away from Ernest, are we?
Nope. Yeah, like El Viento, this is another game we've played multiple times. Our most recent playthrough was on Sega CD Monday, where we played an early prototype version of this game that was recently dumped. Now, the prototype, they actually added some story in it. A story featuring the Necronomicon and Calvin Coolidge, former U.S. president.
God, I love that.
For whatever reason, they got rid of all that and replaced it with this scene right here for the final version.
Ooh, where's Calvin?
We don't need no Calvin Coolidge. We just need Ernest ass. His ass.
His flat pancake ass. Sorry for making fun of you, Ernest. That's not very fair.
This game's so fucking good. I love Ernest Evans.
Alright.
I will take any excuse to play this game. Alright, let's see how far I can get in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah, welcome to Ernest Evans. This is like Indiana Jones, but better. I'm your host, the guy. Well, I'm trying to do the first skip here, and it's not working because I'm not good at the game. There we go, second try. I'm practicing for my upcoming AGDQ appearance.
You will not.
Mikuyama will personally deny me. He's gonna be like, no, not good enough.
Well.
We got this. He just gotta hook onto the hook.
You do it.
Hook the hook, Ernest.
Ernest, please.
Ernest.
Ernest, for the love of God.
Never mind, Ernest.
Whoa, that skeleton kicks ass.
Enemies in this game are great. Yeah, once again, we've played through all these games. The archives are up on YouTube if you want to look. I think I managed to do a full playthrough of this game, and it's time to take a nap.
Good night.
I like how he gets eaten by bats while he's asleep. He doesn't even care. Combat roll. Into the dirt. Really like this game.
This game is cool.
Yeah, just the presentation will either sell you on this game or it'll turn you away instantly. He moves like a marionette. Everything has kind of a disjointed feel to it. Or rather, a jointed feel to it, because it feels like these are all just sprites strung together with multiple joining points. It feels weird. I wouldn't say it feels good to play, but you can get used to it after a while. And they give you 5 continues, which is good.
Where'd you go?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna chase that boulder. I did it. Ow.
Look at you fly backwards as you die.
Yep.
Yeah, Kayla says, fling that wet spaghetti noodle around. And,
yeah, the mechanics are real tough to get used to because, yeah, your whip just kind of goes every which way. There's no real rhyme or reason to it.
Also, Mikuyama mentions that there was a tweet somewhere that mentioned that the way they got Ernest Evans sprites done was referencing an actual G.I. Joe figure.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
That actually makes a lot of sense.
That makes a whole lot more sense.
I can see that.
Especially back then, they just introduced those multiple jointed ones with the kung fu grip and all. So yeah, that would be Ernest Evans right there. Here's the most important part of the game. Gotta get the hat. Your hot dog whip.
Oh my god, that is a hot dog whip.
Yep.
Goodness gracious. Ernest. It's a good waste of some francs, but...
Heard of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull? This is Ernest Evans and the hot dog whip. Combat roll! You gotta do this. It's obligatory if you're showing off Ernest Evans. What I'm trying to say is this game is awesome and you should play it.
Throwing up arrows at you, sweet.
I'm really gonna beat this before the 5-minute mark? That's pretty good.
You're actually really close.
I did it. Oh, gotta get the enemies off screen to reduce lag. Oh no, that wasn't the boss. Yeah, there was another thing you have to fight.
Yeah. Okay, Danny, you've
the
got
speedrun
40
is a
seconds.
failure. There, I did it.
Nice. Just fall back asleep, sweetie.
Whoa, hey!
Oh my god!
Wake up, everybody! It's time to start level 3. Actually, it looks like I'm just about out of time. But in short, Ernest Evans, you may or may not like it, but one thing you can say is that there's nothing else like this game, and you gotta play it at some point, just to see for yourself. You may end up liking it. Especially if you're a fan of Wolf Team. This is one of the best Wolf Team games. I just love doing the combat roll. It looks like it physically pains him to do it every time.
Oh, Ernest. Hey, cool eggs.
Gotta get my rocks. Or eggs.
It's rocks.
We hit the 5-minute mark?
Yes,
okay, it's time to move on. Sorry, Ernest.
Goodbye, Ernest.
Next up, March of 1992. Alex, grab that second controller, because
Yes!
it's time to beast wrestle.
How many times have we shown Beast Wrestler on this goddamn show?
At least a couple times. There's a lot of overlap between Renovation and what we usually show off during our shows.
Air hole.
Air hole.
Air hole.
Now, these are all the different monsters you can pick from.
Oh, I love Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Hey, it weighs 2 tons. These monsters are huge. Federico, the lizard.
The Eurobeat performer. Sorry.
There's Uvolos, who weighs in at almost 9 tons.
Oh my god.
That's a snake man with armor right there.
That's too big.
And then there's Alowina, the pile of slime.
The 1 ton pile of slime.
Mm-hmm. Lean and mean, that's what they call her. There's Octil, I don't even know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
3 tons of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
There's Plogoraz.
I like Plogoraz.
The big fat elephant dragon thing.
Good.
Hax 004.
That is just a robot. Fuck off.
13 tons. Yeah, because it's made of fucking metal. There's someone shaved a bear and gave it a name.
An angel wings.
And angel wings.
And there's a snake buddy like, hey.
Ominous.
Alright.
There's a lot of characters in this game. And together, they wrestle as the Beast Wrestlers.
This is my shit. Okay.
Oh, that's a cool title screen.
That is a cool title screen.
Let's fight.
Alright.
Now, this is a 2-player fighting game. Not maybe what you'd expect from one. It's really more of a wrestling game. In particular, it's more the style of Fire Pro, believe it or not. Now, you know me. I gotta pick my slime. I main the slime. You can be whoever.
Slime. I like the shaved bear.
Oh yeah, he looks ready for
this
action.
Guy a lot, yeah.
Dude has a snake for a tail.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's really cool.
Let's fight it out. Slime versus shaved bear.
Let's go. Alright.
Finally, the match everyone's come here to see.
The audience. Oh my god, look at how huge we are compared to the audience.
Oh, you're right. Man, this slime would be, like, disgusting to look at. So you can punch and kick, kinda? But the gameplay mostly revolves around this grappling mechanic. Like, you want to bump into your other character, and what they'll do is they'll pause for a second, and then they'll hunch down. And once they do that little hunch, you gotta be the first to push the attack button. And whoever gets that first attack in gets to do it, and the other character gets to take damage. And when your meter down there is flashing, you can hit C instead of A or B when you grapple, and that'll do a special move. There you go, I did mine.
Oh, damn.
Covered in slime.
Help me.
Now, this game is pretty much misunderstood by everyone. A lot of people have called this the worst Sega Genesis game, one of the worst games of all time. Really, you're just not getting into the vibe of it, man. Look at all this sexy monster action going on here.
Fucking me. Let's no, knock that. Get out of Twitch is on at our door. Wait, come on, man.
Someone get Rolo out. Oh, body slam.
Okay, getting body slammed by slime is pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, this game doesn't work like it should completely. Like, there's 2 different classes of monsters. One of them can do all the moves, and the other class is the class that the slime belongs to. The second class of characters, they barely have any moves at all. They mostly just exist to look cool. So really, there's only very few viable characters to work with. You kind of pay for it if you want to be the slime.
Please help, monster.
Is there a way you can throw yourself into the ropes, or do you have to throw your opponent? Hey, quit choking me.
No.
With your snake tail.
Snake tail will never stop choking you.
Yeah, if you try to play this,
move.
if you try to play this, you may be frustrated because the controls seem very unresponsive. What? Okay. That was a normal thing to happen, I guess. Quit eating me.
No.
I'm disgusting.
No.
But aside from that, there's a whole bunch of different wrestling moves. You got your body slams, your pins, you can throw them into the ropes and hit them.
How do I...
Classic stuff.
How do I win? Whoa! I put a chokehold on a pile of slime!
Did it work? I don't know.
Did I win? Oh,
slime super.
I got slimed.
Now, believe it or not, you have a life meter down at the bottom of the screen. It's represented by those 3 little marks. So far, we both have full health. These matches go on for a very long time.
Yeah, we are past the 5-minute mark.
Oh, are we? Are we gonna have to move on?
Well, we're not gonna have time to finish the match, but if you want to go an extra minute, we're almost at 6 minutes.
Oh, okay. We might as well stop it here. But if you like monsters getting down and dirty in the ring, this is your game. You can be a true master of monsters with Beast Wrestler.
Bye.
Come back here.
No.
Want to slime you.
No!
You're gonna get slimed. Get slimed.
Stop it! Stop!
Gonna slime this fucker. There we go.
Gross.
Got slimed. I win.
Alright.
Beast Wrestler, a very weird but potentially pretty cool game, depending on your mindset, and depending on how much you like monsters.
Yes, the slime just joined the NWO. Alright, what's next, sweetie?
Next, in April of '92, the third and final entry of the Valis series here on Sega Genesis with Syd of Valis. This was released in Japan as Valis SD, and for whatever reason, when they brought it over here, they called it Syd of Valis.
Oh, she's tiny.
Enemy! Yeah, this game's notable for getting a very, very shaky translation. It feels like they did the bare minimum. If you get a game over in this game, it shows game over in katakana. It doesn't even say it in English. Meanwhile, the text is all crushed down and everyone speaks really simply, so they say things like, enemy!
I do like just screaming enemy. That's yeah.
Yeah. No idea why they released this one over here, frankly. This is a very bad game. Let's find out. Valis Syd!
Oh my god. Why? Please, effort.
Now, I guess this game would have value for Valis fans, because this is pretty much a comical parody-style take on Valis. These are games you might have played on the computer, then on consoles, various times, buying different versions. And by that point, maybe you want a parody, maybe you want something that shakes it up. Meanwhile, this is the only version of Valis 2 we got for the Sega Genesis here in North America, so I don't really know what the aim of this release was. And yeah, the storyline, from what I can tell, is pretty much an adaptation of Valis 2, which was on PC Engine CD. I will not. No, we're good.
China dress?
Now, this game's one claim to fame is you get a bunch of different outfits that you can put on, including China dress.
Aww.
And you get different weapons, too.
She's out for Not in the Town.
Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is pretty cool, because they all have different sprites, and they're all redrawn depending on which kind of clothes you're wearing. You also got different stats for them. Certain weapons work better on certain enemies. Things like that. But it looks and plays like this, which is kind of a problem.
Oh my god, those little oh my god, did you see those cool monsters?
Yeah, the character graphics are the best part of this game, but oh my god, the gameplay. You see how slow it scrolls? This is one of those games that doesn't even run at 60 frames per second. It just kind of runs jerkily and badly. I will say this isn't a completely worthless game, though. You can get some fun out of it.
Aww.
Oh, that thing killed the shit out of me.
Yeah, you're fucking dead, man.
There's a lot of weird things about this game, like too many to go into in 5 minutes, but one of the best is that the cover art is just unrelated cover art from a different video game released in Japan.
Wait, really?
Yeah, when they brought it over here, they used the cover from a Sugoroku game, which is a board game, and they just put Valis in front and center of all the characters. It really feels like a slap-together release they didn't intend to do. They just did it as quickly as possible. It's not like you, Renovation. I expect better.
Yeah, Ragu, the Doom guy Yuko head in the corner is pretty good. Alright, Let's check out that.
Real-time reactions from Yuko down there.
Yeah, these other characters aren't even in the game at all, and then there's that, then there she is.
It's just totally unrelated. Pretty great. Oh, this guy's big. Now, this was another one of those games that I saw at deep discount. This time at Software Etc., I think. I saw this and Troubleshooter both for 15 bucks, and I didn't buy either of them. And I'm kicking myself over not getting Troubleshooter, because that game's awesome. But this game, I don't think I would have liked it back then. I was big into the anime, too, and even this is just not that good.
Yeah, this does not look fun to... It looks cool to look at, but I don't know about playing it.
Yeah, I like the big, bold character sprites. It lets them have a lot of expressiveness, but they just could not turn those into a good game. It's unfortunate, really. Got him.
Wait, so they really didn't translate the game over screen?
Yeah, it just says Gameu Oba in katakana.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure if you get to the ending, the credits are also in Japanese.
Jesus Christ, just come on!
Oh, look at her, she's all stubby.
So tiny.
I love stubby Yuko.
Oh, she's real. It's adorable. Hey, Reiko.
And there's the famous Reiko scene. Except delivered by Chibis, or Chibus, depending on your region.
Alright, it's 5 minutes, babe.
Oh, we better move on. But, yeah, not a completely worthless game. The character graphics are nice, but if you try to play it, it's just kind of miserable. I'm going to smash you. I'm going to reset you.
Don't smash.
Next up, also in April of '92, is a game called Tracey Ax. A game that almost no one has heard of, I'm pretty sure. Guess what kind of game this is?
Is this an RPG?
Hey, it is! How'd you know?
Just a guess. Just a guess. Does this take place in a fantasy world?
Have I got good news for you?
Oh, man. And I hope and pray that there is a hero.
We need a hero.
We do. Oh, you can go fast. Oh, thank goodness.
So this is a very, very complex and lengthy RPG that I'm pretty sure no one has ever finished. It's got a really unusual battle system that just ends up taking a lot of time instead of being fun or interesting. But it looks okay. Goodbye, Tracey Ax. So Alex, you like Ease?
Oh my god.
It's a little bit like Ease.
Walk right through that lady.
Can I not talk? Oh, I got a melon. Cool. I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
Yeah, fuck this.
This is a game I don't have much experience with, unfortunately, so I'm not gonna be able to show off much of it. But it's kind of weird seeing the evolution of Renovation's releases back then, because you remember the first half of the show was pretty much just shooters. Like, that's it. And by this point, they tried to get on the RPG market, like a little bit before it exploded with all the Square games for the Super Nintendo. They tried, but unfortunately these games aren't very good. Yeah, let's join. It won't let me. This is a video game.
There's good rocks.
Rocks look good.
Nice rocks. Chad's asking if you can equip the melon.
Let's do it.
Okay. Oh my god.
I don't know if I can equip the melon.
Well, Danny, if you want, we can cause a time anomaly.
Should we just move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Tracey Ax, if you want to find out about this game, do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. The battles take place on the overworld screen instead of going like to a different screen, so you gotta move around and strategize using the actual maps. Other than that, can't tell you much about this one, and from what I played, I was not impressed.
No.
Now, what does impress me is slime. Especially Todd Slime. June of '92 came Todd's Adventure in Slime World. Oh, and listen to this music. Oh.
Copyright epics, you don't say. This has an extreme epics look to it to me.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, this is not Renovation or Telenet internal. Music by Bugsuck? Really?
What?
That's what it said.
Walk away for 1 minute to adjust the audio and...
Now, believe it or not,
Bugsuck.
this is a port of an Atari Lynx game, of all things. They brought it here to Sega Genesis. I don't know why, but here it is. You play as Duke Nukem with a rat tail, and you're going on down to Planet Snot. Time to make the donuts. Here you go. You're Todd, and this is Slime World.
This is so zoomed out compared to the Lynx one.
Yeah, the Lynx one, its big claim to fame was that it had these huge characters, because it was way zoomed in. Todd was huge, as were all these enemies. And you can think of this as, believe it or not, a roguelike, because this game does have randomly generated levels, in addition to preset level layouts. This is a game where you gotta avoid the slime, because eventually you get covered in slime, and that's bad. Oh, look at that, I got slime on me.
And you gotta go wash
You gotta go wash it off, yep. You're well acquainted with what to do when you're covered in slime.
Oh yes, oh yes.
And we're Nickelodeon kids. We gotta be prepared. Other than that, you go around collecting diamonds and other stuff. Any fans of slime?
Damn.
Or Todd slime?
Ragu says, let me see a slime gems. Arnold Rimmer mentioning the Lynx version has up to 8 players, and Krungling mentions this is the Boogerman dimension.
Oh, it is.
Video Game King says this is Rex Ronan by way of Boogerman, and Ides of Merch says, is this the opening of Cave Story?
Wow, pretty much. Pixel ripped this guy off. People who made Todd's Adventure in Slime World. Did anyone play this? Anyone at all? Would you pick up a game off the shelf called Todd's Adventure in Slime World? Well, some of you would, but...
Let's see, I don't see anyone in chat who did play this as a child.
I don't think anyone did. You can't convince me that people played this game back when it was new.
Whoa, oh, someone in chat has.
Oh, really? Tell me your experiences.
They say, I played it, says, I was just gonna call you Four. Four has played it.
Wow. An actual Todd's Adventure in Slime World veteran. Oh my god, I'm covered in slime.
Norman, the Lynx game came first, and then it was ported to the Genesis.
Yeah, that's why this looks like it does. I died.
Ah, okay. This the programmer who ported this to Genesis is Greg Omi, who would later work at Naughty Dog during the Crash and Jack days. Fun facts there.
Hey, nice. I just wonder why Renovation said, first of all, hey, port this to Sega Genesis. Second of all, why did they choose to release it?
Yeah, what's Renovation like?
What a weird choice.
That is a good question. Did this have a Turbo Duo port that was only released in Japan? I don't know.
Oh, that does sound familiar. Did they do that? I think there is a Turbo Duo version of this. Why?
Ah, the Turbo Duo version gave Todd a girlfriend?
Oh, we gotta play that one to get the lore.
The slime lore, I guess.
Well, I've learned something about Todd today.
Mm-hmm. And I think I have too. In the end, aren't we all Todd in Slime World?
God, it feels like it lately.
Ugh, yeah.
I wake up every morning, turn to Alex, and I say, boy, I'm feeling like Todd. And Alex is like, from Slime World? And I'm like, yeah!
Daily Show, hire us!
Yeah.
This political commentary is just so beautifully epic.
We speak for the modern gamer.
We speak for all gamers.
Oh yeah, all gamers.
Ah, yes, Todd Howard in Slime World. I saw a few references to Todd Howard.
That's how you could update this game. That's how we're gonna get this on Steam. Like, officially it won't have Todd Howard, but you go to the Steam Workshop section. Oh, buddy. That's how you play Todd's Adventure in Slime World.
Thank you for torturing BBH for us, for all of us, with tubing, Heidi. God. We appreciate that.
I don't know, I'd rather play Tubin than this. I'm not a fan of Todd's Adventure in Slime World.
Hey, cool, big thing of slime!
I will say it's different. It's not like anything else Renovation published. It's kind of a run-and-gun roguelike shooter at a time when that wasn't a thing. But it looks and plays like this, and that's kind of a problem.
Alright, we are at 5 minutes, 20 seconds.
Let's move on. We only got a couple more games.
Cool.
So, anyone for tennis? Jennifer Capriati tennis. This came several months later in September of '92. Oh, there she is. In as few colors as possible.
Oh, this is good.
This is a System SATCOM game. Wow, so after this they made Mansion of Hidden Souls. Cool.
You're being chastised for talking about how great Tubin is.
I'm sorry. I should know better. I'm gonna be Shepard versus... Oh no, wait, I want to be Capriati. Fuck that. Capriati versus Club, the cave woman.
Me tennis!
Let's do it.
Alright.
So, you may remember sports. Kind of big on Sega Genesis. Those Genesis fans back then, they loved their sports. Now, other companies, they had the other sports sewn up. EA, they kind of ruined football for everyone else. Like, why release another football game when Madden exists? And I guess Renovation saw that, and they decided, what's a sport that EA hasn't completely dominated yet? And their conclusion was tennis. So they brought over this messed up System SATCOM tennis game by the name of, what was it called in Japan? Grand Slam, I think? And they put someone's name on it, and it's a video game.
A year after this was released, according to Uzi, Jennifer Capriati would be arrested for shoplifting.
What? Wow, she let that Renovation money go to her head. She thinks she can do anything.
Let's see. Electric Boogaloo mentions that this was originally called Grand Slam, the tennis tournament, and it is one of 2 third-party games on Sega's Mega Play arcade system.
Oh,
beautiful.
huh.
So this was in the arcades, and I guess the fame got to Jennifer's head, and she had to get some like cookies down her sleeves or something.
Is that what happened?
I don't know. I'm not gonna assume what she stole.
The old cookies in the sleeve gambit gets them every time. I will say this is one of the tougher tennis games I've played. This computer has not given me any chances whatsoever. Feels like all my shots go out of bounds. Ugh. Now the thing about this is pretty much every other publisher got the same idea as Renovation at this time, because you'll remember there were a ton of tennis games released for the Sega Genesis at this point.
Usually that's bullshit. A $15 ring and then getting arrested for marijuana possession. That's bullshit. No.
Wow. Hey,
no
I got
way.
a point.
No. Those are barely crimes.
I almost hit the judge in the head with that one. That was cool.
That's me.
Jesus. Because at this time, I'm trying to think of other tennis games back then. We had David Crane's Amazing Tennis. We had Mark Davis Tennis, which was a 4-player Codemasters tennis game that had the extra controller ports built into the cartridge, which is pretty amazing.
Let's all do crimes with Jennifer.
And then there was one game that was promoted with a lady's butt that I can't remember. Someone knows what I'm thinking of.
Ass Tennis.
It was the famous Ass Tennis, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mario Tennis, yes, that was the one.
Yeah, Mario. Mario showing off his assets.
Jesus.
Hell, maybe that was Jennifer Capriati Tennis, now that I think about it. There was one famous ad in magazines that got a lot of parents angry back then. It was for a tennis game for the Sega Genesis, and the ad was just an image of a woman hiking up her skirt from behind and showing her ass, and right next to the ass was a copy of that tennis game for the Sega Genesis.
Oh my god.
It was a time for video games, and it was a time for ass tennis. Let's move on.
Let's go. That's enough ass. More tennis.
November 92, Soldice. We've played through this game completely on Sega CD Monday, where it was named Solfease. That was a pack-in game for the Sega CD here in the States.
Danny, I want you to look at what Jennifer Capriati's tennis original cover was in Japan.
That's pretty amazing. There's a lot of angry tennis boys on there.
That is the most emotion I have seen in a cover.
Me too.
Alright, thank you for that. What a...
So suffice to say, if you want to see our complete thoughts on this game, see the very first episode of Sega CD Monday, where we played all the different pack-in games they released for the Genesis. I mean, the Sega CD. That version had a CD soundtrack and some animated cutscenes, and is pretty much the definitive way to play this game. And yet, for some reason, they also released it on cartridge.
That is a good question. Danny, do you know why it was Feast on CD but Deece on cartridge?
I have no clue, dude. That is something I've wondered for years, and I have no, not even a hint of why that might have been.
Okay, I'm looking for the ass tennis.
Yeah, just Google ass tennis.
Where is that ass tennis? There it is!
Oh, they censored it. Yeah, in the original magazine advert, it actually wasn't censored. It was just a butt.
Well, it's Davis Cup tennis.
That's what it was. Yeah. Davis Cup tennis. The classiest tennis ad ever.
That ad just fucking sucks. Like,
yeah.
Fuck you. I don't know why that makes me so... See, that's so... Like, that needs more screaming tennis people on it.
I agree.
How dare they? Why does... I don't get offended by things, but I'm just like, man, screw you. That's just a...
Why you gotta do that? It's just a why you gotta do that situation.
It's like, man, what a shitty way to sell that game. That would suck, like, producing that game, and the only way they were selling it were like, hey, you want to look at some ass? Fuck you.
I would feel bad if I was the programmer. Like, no, sell the game based off my genius programming, not off an ass.
My game is better than ass, thank you.
Wow, it's an actual ad that pretty much said, this game is ass. Anyway, you can tell by the fact we're going off topic that we've played through this game in completion on Sega CD Monday, so do check that out. It's the better version anyways. Last release. Oh my god, this is the last release. So that game, Soldice, was their last release for 92. They would come back in March of 93 with their final release. Only one game released in 93, and that was Elemental Master. Now this is kind of a weird one, because the original Japanese release for this game was 1990, I think. So this was several years after the fact. But, one thing you might want to know is this is developed by Technosoft, the Thunder Force people.
Oh, that looks cool.
And this game fucking rules. And it also has anime cutscenes.
Good.
Hey, I'm gonna put an end to your evil ways.
Oh, okay, so that ad was based on it looks like a famous poster you would see with a tennis girl doing the same thing, so it's a...
Oh, it was an homage to that. Yeah, that picture does look a whole lot like it.
Still hate it, though.
Quite an ass. Start the timer.
Oh, I was too busy thinking about ass. I'm so sorry. Apparently, the uncensored version, they did not show that ad in America, but they did show the uncensored ass in France and Germany.
I could have sworn I saw that ad in EGM.
Maybe. This is,
I'm almost positive I did. I know that ass.
That guy looks cool, I just want to say.
Mm-hmm. So to the very end, they keep with the anime aesthetic of their introductions. Even though this game, again, was not made by Telenet or Wolf Team, this is from Technosoft, and it was the very last of their, hey, you gonna finish that releases? Which you'll notice they kind of stopped doing in 92, right? They kind of just stuck to their own games. They started out doing this, and then they ended their run on Sega Genesis with the final release in that style, and it's a good one. And someday it'll start.
We understand. We will not start the game.
I'm the teleporting orc, or torque.
BBH says they showed it in the letter section of EGM, so it wasn't an ad. Okay.
Alright, that's where I saw it then. You know that ass too.
I guess BBH is the ass master here.
I never forget an ass.
Yes. Oh, okay. And ooh, my voice squeaked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, an ass.
Let's see.
Alright, so this is a little bit different for Technosoft. They started off with Thunder Force 2 on Genesis, which was a mixture of side-scrolling shooter and overhead view shooter. Then there was Thunder Force 3 and 4, which stuck entirely to horizontal scrolling. And somewhere in the middle of that was this little game, which kind of got forgotten, because Thunder Force was way bigger than this game. I guess they were focusing on bringing over 3 at the time. Now, I didn't know this until recently, but Thunder Force 3 actually wasn't released by Technosoft over here. It was released by Hot B. It was before they even started their Sage's Creation brand. And Thunder Force 3 was kind of a big deal for a while. No one ever talks about this game, though, and it's a shame, because this kicks ass. Look at it.
This is really cool. This
game is actually amazing.
Look at those cool dragons.
I know. And to me, this feels like a great game to go out on, because you're not just releasing any old thing. You're not releasing Ass Tennis to capitalize on the popularity of Ass Tennis. You're releasing a genuinely good game that got overlooked and may not have been a sensible release, considering it was multiple years after the fact. But in '93, when you got nothing else going and you're ready to close up shop, fuck it, release the good game. This is something for the gamers right here.
A true gamers game.
A true gamers game, if there ever was one.
Also, yeah, Arnold Rimmer, in a lot of these games, these guy walking around, auto-scrolling shooters, it is like more power walking simulators than anything. It's like, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go.
I kind of like that that subgenre. Oh yeah, you can shoot forward and back in this game.
That's cool.
It's kind of neat. We've talked about walking shooters before. There's stuff like Pocky and Rocky, Caves Gulonge.
King's Knight.
King's Knight, a classic. Alex knows the classics.
Well, Taizo said this was King's Knight, but better.
Yeah, this is King's Knight, but perfected.
Actually, Electric Boogaloo, Danny read something about that. Apparently Renovation, I think you saw it, Renovation and Ubisoft had a deal going where Ubisoft was going to release some of Renovation's games, but
That's
apparently
right.
None of those games were released in that deal.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was reading magazines from back then, earlier today, where, yeah, they were talking about how Ubisoft was teaming up with Renovation,
Oh, cool.
and I guess they backed out. It's Nina.
Hey, Nina.
From Pissmaster to Assmaster?
Yeah,
that sums me up pretty well, I guess.
Yeah, Devil Ray says that you're actually Ass Dan.
Ass Dan.
Sorry.
I've had worse nicknames.
There's
We'll stick with Ass Dan.
Ass.
Here's what amazes me. This game originally came out in 1990, and for 90, this is fucking amazing. It makes sense that they'd bring it back in 93, because it still feels pretty fresh, even for that time. I just wonder why it never got a release back when it was new. Maybe there just wasn't room for vertically scrolling shooters, or people weren't ready for the fantasy-themed power walking shooter.
They need to make a walking shooter set in a mall where you're a
Oh dude, yes!
yes, where you're a power walking grandma.
The backgrounds would just draw themselves. You could just draw like storefronts.
Yeah, oh god, I wish I
want to make this game.
Yes.
Power walking, the shooter. Oh yeah, you get different weapons for every level you beat too.
Also, yeah, Electric Boogaloo's mentioned a few times, but after this, apparently, after this game, Renovation went under. They didn't technically go under,
They just pulled up stakes and got the hell out of Dodge.
They got bought by Sega and folded into Sega. Apparently.
Oh, is that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, they didn't put up much resistance. I assume by this point they realized they put pretty much all they had into the Sega Genesis, and they weren't getting what they wanted out of it.
Yeah, after Revenge of the Ninja, after they got bought by Sega, made out Revenge of the Ninja, and then they folded.
Damn. Oh right, they also released 3 Sega CD games, which, again, we've all played through on Sega CD Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You can check our archives where we played through Road Avenger, Time Gal, and Revenge of the Ninja, which were their only 3 games released for Sega CD. Believe it or not, Renovation actually released 1 game for the Super Nintendo, which we're not going to play today. It's a game called Doomsday Warrior, and it is fucking awful. It is one of the worst fighting games I've ever played. I have no idea why they chose that to release as their 1 game for the Super Nintendo, but they did. Should have just ported this. Oh wait, the Super Nintendo can't handle this game.
Again with the Super Nintendo hate.
I'm just telling the truth.
Around Christmas, really? You can't put aside differences around the, you know?
Well, 'tis the season to be sharing, Fred. I guess you're right. Let's put aside our differences. Even if the Super Nintendo sucks at shooters, it still has some good games, I guess.
Well, another fun fact about Renovation. The president of Renovation went on to work at Agitech and later became COO of Sega of America.
Holy shit. Wow, well that guy had a good run, I guess. Renovation itself kind of went under uneventfully, but that guy got the best end of the deal right there. Alright, so let's sum up. What are the best games we played tonight? This game is one of the best, easily. Check out Elemental Master. Unfortunately, this is probably the rarest Renovation game. I think it was a late release, they didn't make many copies, so you're going to pay a lot for this one. This is one of the rare cases where the original Mega Drive version is actually way cheaper, so you might want to do that. Or just get a flash card, I'm not your mom.
That's right. You're being called a hipster.
I am a hipster.
Jerry Eris, it may be pronounced H-Tech. I just can't pronounce shit. So yeah.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, do not take my word for any pronunciations. Please check the smart people in chat and not me.
Alright, so in terms of best games, we got this. Granada, I would say is another good one. El Viento and Ernest Evans, I think are both worth checking out. Master of Monsters, if you're one of those weirdos who love strategy RPGs. Or even if you're not, I kind of got into it too. Other than that, there's a whole bunch of shooters that Sega passed over, probably for good reason, for releasing here in the States. Occasional good ones, like Vapor Trail and this one. But in the end, I think they had a pretty good legacy. They did a good job in being among the first companies to really lean on that anime aesthetic when it was seen as uncool at the time. Yes. They did not care.
It's not H-Tech or Agitech, it's actually pronounced Guy R Us. Thank you.
Yeah, Guy R Us. Listen to Jamie Oliver. I mean, Jamie Bunker.
Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy, whatever his name is.
Alright, we are 9 minutes in this game.
Oh, but I really like this game.
I know.
This is one of my favorites.
I know.
Elemental Master is fucking awesome. You should play it. And play some of the other games if they look cool. And if you end up not liking them, who cares? They're all ROMs anyways. Play some good games. Renovation made a few of them. You may want to play them. That concludes this episode of Retro Pals. Thank you. I just put down the controller. I'm going to leave the room now.
He's gone.